Okay. We can scoot closer. Come stand there. Yeah. Okay, so we just watched
The video.
What video was that called?
Nope. Yeah, we watched a video. And
About the doctor in Ethiopia. And he was with the Mother Teresa program, which is just so cool. I was amazed at all the stuff that he was doing. And like, he just dedicated his whole life to it. It didn't sound like though that he had a family at home or anything. So that was his new home and that was his new family.
And I think that's what, like, the video was just showing, like, the impact that one individual can make.
Yeah.
And how a lot of times we think, oh, it'll take all these resources, it'll take all this money. But he's showing that by just a few dollars, he can get generic brand medicine to people and help prevent these other diseases that are really, like, affluent in their country.
Well, and they're really things, too, that, like, here in America, like, get treated right away and they're not a big deal, but in a place where you don't have anything, like, it is a big deal.
Yeah, it was crazy how cheap that some of those surgeries could be. But I think, I know the big focus was, like, the impact he made with the surgeries and, like, how much you can do with that. But I honestly think that just by him caring about those kids, like, made a way bigger impact on their lives than surgery would have.
Yeah.
You know, like, even just, like, when he's sitting on the couch cuddling with one of the little kids, like, how big that is for that kid, you know?
Or even just as a doctor, how he like, tries to care for his patients. And he's like, listen to my heart. I'll listen to yours. And he kind of makes them think that doctors aren't a bad thing. Doctors are good things. And, like, that civilization, and as you advance, it's okay. Like, I know a lot of, like, in time for school and everything, they're like, look, education isn't really going to help them because they're just going to farm goats the rest of their life. And so they see that it does help, and look, this guy's helping right now.
I think that takes, like, such a special person, though. Because, he even said, like, a couple of the kids that lived in this house have died. And I just can imagine that must be so lonely. Like, he's surrounded by kids, but that's just got to be so lonely at times when, like, I'm sure that having 16 to 18 kids living in your house, some of them being teenagers, it would not be easy. Like, it looks all, like, happy and sunshiny in the video, but no doubt that those kids have issues. And, like, it's just amazing that he is able to handle that and cope with it, and, like, sounds like he has a pretty good, like, religious background, or he, like, has faith.
I don't know. He said they, like, practice something
that I didn't recognize. I really didn't recognize. I wonder if it's, like, Ethiopian.
Well, they had a flag with the Star of David on it.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
then he was talking about rabbis and synagogues, so I don't know if he's Jewish.
Yeah, it might be, like, a part of the Jewish. Yeah, something. I didn't recognize the name that he said. But it was just, like, I don't know. I just got the feeling, like, man, that is such a hard life. For him. Like, to be living in a third world country, like, giving up everything he has. Like, he's a doctor, you know? And he could have anything and everything in the world that he wants.
He could be in America driving a sports car with a hot babe girlfriend and stuff.
But he, like, chooses to, like, raise 18 or however many teenage and little kids in Ethiopia.
That are all sick.
And that could die, that could betray him, that could do all sorts of things. Like,
seriously, that could go bad.
That could go really sour.
You can really just tell that he's just, like, a good, genuine person. And one thing that he said, he's like, I just want to give him the chance and then leave everything else up to God. And I just think that's so great. Like, sure, you can do all you can, but just remember that if, like, Heavenly Father wants it that way, that's the way it's going to be.
And I wish that other people had that perspective too, because a lot of times we're like, well, like, let's look at the probability of them surviving and then see if we should put them through, you know, or, like, not the probability of them surviving. Let's look at the probability of them going on and doing something
Making
great.
a difference.
Yeah. And it's not about that. It's about giving them the opportunity to live and to do something great. Whether or not they have a different plan for them, it's not up to us.
The other sad part was just, like, the spine disease, whatever it was, looked like it was relatively prevalent in that country. And it's just so sad that like the countries that can't afford to fix these things are the ones that have the most of it. Yeah, and I mean that all comes from like whatever it is, malnutrition.
And I'm sure they like correlate and everything. You know.
Oh, definitely correlate. But it's just sad that like we have so many blessings. Like we have the world at our feet in the States. Like we aren't plagued with a lot of these things that these other third world countries are.
Yeah. So it's kind of like now, like what can we do to like make a difference? So I don't know. A lot about what I was thinking of is like I'm gonna be a nurse soon, and like there's so many programs that I can go to and just like help people, like Doctors Without Borders and stuff like that. So that's definitely something that I think I'm going to look into.
Well, I just thought about like even simple things that we could do. Think about the little humanitarian aid on our tithing slips on Sunday.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
how just
huge.
$1
that
a
goes
day
directly.
sends kids to that private school was $1 a day for the children.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It's amazing. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really cool how you said like this woman for 80th birthday sponsored a surgery. Like this group sponsored a surgery. Like anyone can sponsor a surgery. I think it's pretty cool.
We can all make a difference.
yeah.
Okay.